Dead by Daylight has brought Iron Maiden into their world of horror by introducing their mascot, Eddie, with 4 of his iconic variants. With these unique versions of Eddie entering the fog, I couldn't help but wonder, could we make a lore-accurate build for each variant based on the albums and songs they originated from? There's only one way to find out. Our first Eddie is the variant that appears in the cover art for the Somewhere in Time album and Stranger in a Strange Land single. This version of Eddie is depicted as a futuristic android bounty hunter in a Blade Runner Star Wars-esque universe. There are many songs in this album to choose from, but we want to ensure we're choosing the songs that best fit Eddie's introduction to the entity's realm. The first song of the album, Caught Somewhere in Time, refers to someone being tempted to sell their soul to what we assume to be the devil, but what is being offered in exchange remains unclear. While the fourth song of the album, Heaven Can Wait, refers to someone's near-death experience and the feelings they face as they traverse the unknown. The lyrics make many references to them not being ready to move on and unsure if they are in limbo, heaven, or even hell. They are offered to take someone's hand to be led to the promised land, but we don't know if they took that offer, as the next verse describes strange feelings as they think they're floating back down to earth, yet they are unsure as their final question ponders if this is their hour of rebirth, death, or awakening from a dream. If we apply the context of these two songs to Eddie entering the entity's realm, we could infer the person with the near-death experience is Eddie himself, who's not quite ready to move on, which could lead us into Caught Somewhere in Time, where Eddie is being tempted by the entity to sell his soul in exchange for something unknown. As Eddie accepts the offer and feels himself returning to what he believes to be his world, he instead finds himself in a brand new world as a stranger in a strange land. Our first perk is Grim Embrace. Each time we hook a survivor for the first time and move 16 meters away, all generators will be blocked for 12 seconds, and upon hooking the last survivor, all generators will be blocked for 40 seconds. Aside from the title Grim Embrace being a direct reference to near-death experiences such as the one in Heaven Can Wait, Caught Somewhere in Time refers to a deal being made with an entity. It would make sense that the entity would form a connection to Eddie and assist him in the trials. Our second perk is Monitor and Abuse, which increases our terror radius by 8 meters while in chase, but decreases our terror radius by 8 meters while not in chase. I chose this perk as a nod to the lore featured on the backside of the Stranger in a Strange Land single. Though the song does not have any lyrical connection to the sci-fi theme of this Eddie, the cover art and back cover provide amplifying detail to Eddie's character, stating, "The android with no name walked into the crowded spaceport bar. 8 foot tall, with death in his cold android eyes. He strode across the room. Small green aliens scuttled out of his path. Fearsome Martian warriors would not meet his gaze, and the air froze when he croaked in his dark, gravelly voice, 'A pint of bitter, please, mate.'" Which perfectly fits with Monitor's description of meticulous in your approach, terrifying in your application. Our third perk, Floods of Rage, continues to play into Eddie's connection to the entity. Whenever a survivor is unhooked from a scourge hook, all other survivors' auras are revealed for 7 seconds. Our last perk is Gift of Pain. When a survivor is unhooked from a scourge hook, they suffer from hemorrhage and mangled for 90 seconds. When that survivor is healed, they will suffer a 16% penalty to healing and repairing until injured again. The perk's description that says, "You are a bringer of sweet pain," is a perfect reference to Eddie's professional skill as a bounty hunter. As for add-ons, we'll be bringing the Wanted poster, since he is a bounty hunter, which increases our movement speed while aiming down sights, and considering this Eddie's rifle is an upgraded version of Slingers, we also have the Prison Chain, which increases the chain's endurance by 10%. Finally, we're going to bring the alien flora for Toba Landing, as this map fits perfectly with the futuristic theme of this Eddie. Let's go. Alright, here we are on Toba Landing as Eddie, the bounty hunter, the Deathslinger. Looks like we got all 3 of our survivors here. We got Michaela right here. Gonna go get an M1 down on Michaela. So the idea... Oh, we missed. The idea with this build is that the entity is helping Eddie in this realm. So we have Grim Embrace and Floods of Rage, which are 2 ways that the entity is helping Eddie as he's tracking and hunting these survivors. And then we have Gift of Pain and Monitor and Abuse, which kind of just showcases his skill set as a bounty hunter. Looks like Michaela's just really holding W here. But the good news is she went down right next to a Gift of Pain hook. So as you notice, we don't have any type of gen regression at all in this build. So the whole concept and idea is putting survivors on the Gift of Pain hook. That way, when they get unhooked and healed, they'll have a 16% penalty to repairing generators. Somebody was right. I just heard them. Where'd they go? There you are. I knew you were hiding somewhere right here. We actually saw a crow here earlier, which is what gave away her position. We're going to aim in. She's going to run off to the side. Looks like we're just going to be able to walk this one down, too. We do hear them upstairs working on this generator. We'll see if we can get a oh, hello. I was going to say if we get a little cheeky shot, but it's just raining Kates. Bringing them right down, like, to us. I was about to say, you're not going to make it over there. There's not even a pallet there for you. Floods of Rage value, we can kind of see where everybody is. Nia looks like she might be setting up for some type of save, but we'll go ahead and commit to the grab. We're going to go back to that Gift of Pain Scourge Hook. And that is going to be our third Grim Embrace, which is actually a pretty strong start. I want to get up here and kick this gen. Even though it's got a little bit of progress, that's one of the gens I don't really want to lose this early. Now, we do know that they all healed, so we can step away, activate Grim Embrace, then try and see where everybody is. I believe they're over by Killer Shack. Looks like my guesstimation is correct, actually. I believe... Well, we should go for Michaela. Now, since we've hit Michaela, she has been reset. She no longer has the penalty. So we want to make sure we commit to Michaela and get her down and put her on a Scourge Hook. Ooh, 1 second too early there. I do see Kate back there as well. So we have both of the survivors here. Oh, Kate was smart to double back. She's going to run over here to this pallet. I want to cut her off this way. There we go. Now, even though Kate never got healed, we still want to put her back onto that Scourge Hook. So now that we put her back on the Scourge Hook, when she gets saved and healed, she will have the penalty as well. They have both of these gens right here flying. They're probably going to finish that one before I can get to them. I do need to go upstairs and stop that other gen from going as well. But oh man, this is a tough decision here. Do we go for the Nia or do we try and stop that gen? Sadly, we did lose that top gen because we chose to go for Nia. We're not going to get any aura reading because Nia was our obsession. That she was the last one that we were catching. Oh, shot a little bit low. But we do know Michaela is, or we do know Kate's death hook. We've yet to find the Michaela again. We'll strafe that pallet so we can get an easy hit on Nia here. Ooh, barely missed. It looks like Nia might be going for the save, though. We can take advantage of the situation. We see Michaela right here. We're not going to make it easy for them to get a save. If Michaela goes for this, we trade. We try and hold this out as long as we can. We have all three survivors here. They're trying to pick up this other Nia. This might have just fallen apart. I hear the Michaela. We'll let the chain break so she has to mend. Now we reload. We'll go for the pickup on this Nia. Oh, that's so huge too. The Kate's now injured and she's death hook. And she's right here next to us. Oh, we have both Nia and Michaela here injured. These survivors are not making good plays right now. This should be another trade. We'll go in and pick up this Nia. We need to go ahead and hook this Kate. Kate's death hook. We need to get her on out of here. So at this point, like, the penalties are going to be insane. They're not going to be able to finish these last two gens. And then there were two. Last we saw, Michaela had gone off this way. I assume that other Nia probably jumped on a gen almost immediately. They haven't healed. Ooh. Now they've healed. So now they have the penalty. Looks like they both were working here on the Killer Shack gen. And now, we wait and see who finds Hatch. And sadly, it was me. But I also saw Nia right here. And with that, that's gonna be it for the first game. So we brought Eddie, the bounty hunter, out here into Tova Landing, making him a stranger in a strange land, somewhere lost in time, with the lore accurate build. Honestly, really fun game, really fun theme. And I'm excited to see the rest. Our second Eddie is the variant that appears in the Power Slave album cover, also known as the Pharaoh Eddie. This version of Eddie is a direct reference to the Pharaoh in the song Power Slave. Power Slave refers to an arrogant Pharaoh in his dying hours. He believes that he's a god and can't understand why he is about to die. As he continues to fight death, he is overwhelmed by the power of death and sardonically thinks about his heir, as he swears to return as a mummy in his final moments to strike from the grave. Since we know the entity has pulled characters from various universes either by force or through coercion, it is possible this version of Eddie was brought to the realm to fulfill his dying promise. Our first perk is No One Escapes Death. Once the exit gates are powered, a remaining dull totem will become a hex totem. While this totem is active, all survivors are exposed and our movement speed is increased by 4%. Considering the entire song of Power Slave is about the Pharaoh fighting death to no avail, this perk is a perfect reference to the song, as even the Pharaoh could not escape death. Our second perk is Devour Hope. When a survivor is rescued from a hook at least 24 meters away, we receive a token. As we obtain tokens, we gain a haste effect after every hook. Survivors will become exposed, and we will be granted the ability to Mori the survivors. This perk is a reference to the Pharaoh's rebirth for vengeance, as the third verse of the song says he became a shell of a man preserved for 1,000 ages, but when the gates of hell are opened, he would strike from the grave. Now, as Devour Hope activates, survivors will likely run to break the Hex, which leads us to our third perk, Hex Pentimento. This perk allows us to rekindle any broken totems on the map, and for each rekindled totem, we gain a token up to 5 tokens, which increases our control over the trial. These tokens decrease survivors' repair, healing, recovery, and exit gate opening speeds by 30%, with the final token protecting all Pentimento totems from being broken. This perk is a direct reference to the death and rebirth of the Pharaoh in the entity's realm. Lastly, we have Surge. When a survivor enters a dying state from a basic attack, all generators within 32 meters explode, losing 8% progress and begin regressing. The description of the perk says, your eerie presence charges the air and interferes with technology, which is a perfect reference to the album cover that depicts Pharaoh Eddie manipulating electricity, which is also the likely reason the Doctor was chosen for this legendary skin, as you can see his shackles spark with electricity exactly like Eddie in the album cover. As for add-ons, we'll be bringing Restraint as a reference to the shackles that are seen broken on the Pharaoh's wrist, which reveals survivors' auras for 3 seconds when their madness increases, as well as Discipline, in reference to the Pharaoh's return of vengeance, which decreases the detonation delay of shock therapy by 20%. As for the map, we will be going to Eyrie of Crow, as this is the only map Dead by Daylight has that fits a desert-like aesthetic fitting for the Pharaoh. Alright, here we are on Eyrie of Crow with the Doctor. So we feel like this is a pretty good map choice, considering it's one of the only maps in DVD that kind of have like a desert aesthetic to it. Guaranteed there's no pyramids, but hey, close enough. Alright, and we found our first target, which is Kate. She's gonna get that pallet. She actually didn't throw the pallet. We're gonna go ahead and break it. I do see we have a Zarina that's kind of hanging out. Probably trying to go for a flashlight save, but that's fine. Our Devourer is upstairs in the main building, which is either good or bad for us. We get the down, a little bit of surge value. Go ahead and do a big shock here. That should be a hit on Ash, and we missed. Alright, we do have 1 stack for Devour now, which is good for us. We'll be able to swing here and get a hit. We're gonna fake going right so we can break the pallet as he goes left. Oh, and he's still here, and there's nothing here for him. Oh my, auto aim. Come on, game, work with me here. We're trying to do something fun. Good spin, good spin. Good deception play. Almost had me with it. And there's another surge for us. Alright, Sable's gonna make it into the window to the main building. She's gonna run upstairs, which means now she sees our Hex Totem, which is not good for us. She didn't try and use that pallet, so she's probably gonna try and run around, and or not, she's gonna go this way. Oh, balanced landing. Very well done. Alright, so right now they're doing pretty good on gens. They're about to break our 3 gen, but hopefully we should be triggering a Devour here soon, which will make them want to break the totem, which will allow us to go and get our Pentimento. We do have scratch marks leading up this way. This is probably our Sable who's plot twisting. That's actually really good for us. They don't know we have Devour, which means we're going to have 4 stacks of Devour by the time we hit somebody. Ooh. Slightly too slow, but Sable is Death Hook here. But now what we do is we light our Pentimento. Alright, so right now we just need to maintain pressure over here. We need to stop them from completing these gens as much as possible and try and keep our Pentimento alive. That was impressive. She actually got the slow crawl across. I don't think we've chased Zarina yet. We do see a doctor in the distance, so someone's on that gen out there. This is a tough pickle. We got to figure out which gen to go to. This one hasn't been kicked. And it had a lot of progress. Wow, he actually made that. That should be a hit for us. We still have Pentimento working for us, even though those two are doubled up on that gen over there. I feel like we have to commit. Don't forget, we still have Noed. And they just destroyed our Pentimento. We are going to head over here. We did see a doctor here. Someone is on this gen. And here we are at the end game, but we do have Noed. If Zarina's on the other door, she just might make it out. And Zarina does make it out. So sadly, we're not going to get any Noed value. But we did get Sable. Why? That was not a good play. You had the chance to escape, so you all saw it here on today's episode of Just Leave. No one escapes death, just like this Pharaoh couldn't escape it in the song Power Slave. All in all, this was a pretty fun match. This team probably gave me the best run for my money so far trying out this build. But hopefully you guys enjoy it, and if you have been enjoying the video so far, be sure to like and subscribe, and check out the next match. Our third Eddie is the variant that first appeared in the music video for The Writing on the Wall, which is the first single from the Senjutsu album. Though the song references the biblical story of Belshazzar's feast, the music video approaches the story in a different manner. It still shares the same lesson and message that people who fail to recognize the inevitable, even if the writing's on the wall, won't end well. In this music video, we see 4 cloaked riders traveling the desert to vanquish a villain who seems to be hosting an extravagant event for elites that are avoiding the impending death of an apocalyptic world. The villains of this video are seen extracting life essence from what is presumed to be Adam and Eve to extend his lifespan before the cloaked riders arrive to vanquish the elite. Interestingly enough, this is also the first time we see 4 different variants of Eddie in the same location, indicating that they are each individual beings and not all one and the same, which is likely how the entity obtained each multiple variant. The Samurai Eddie is the primary protagonist in this video, who demonstrates that he is the one to bring the villain's judgment. For this variant of Eddie, I decided to create a lore build based off his adventure in the Writing on the Wall music video instead of the songs throughout Senjutsu, as I felt the video was more fitting for the character. Our first perk is Forced Penance. Any survivor who takes a protection hit are inflicted with the broken status effect for 80 seconds. This is a direct reference to the story and mission of Samurai Eddie as he confronts the villain of the story who has been avoiding the atonement of his transgressions. Our second perk is Hubris. Whenever we are stunned by a survivor, that survivor will be exposed for 20 seconds. This perk is a reference to the elites that demonstrate their pride and confidence in their belief that they were escaping death. Our third perk is Nowhere to Hide. Whenever we kick a generator, all survivors' auras are revealed for 5 seconds if they are within 24 meters of our position. Considering the elites were throwing this extravagant party where unworthy individuals would perish at the gate, this perk is a perfect metaphor that shows they aren't truly untouchable. Our final perk is Hex Face the Darkness. When we injure a survivor, a dull totem will become a hex totem. That hex totem will remain active until that survivor is downed or healed. While active, all other survivors outside of our terror radius will scream every 25 seconds, revealing their location and aura for 2 seconds. This perk is a direct reference to the Eddie Rider's quest to vanquish the villain and the elites. As for the add-ons, we'll be bringing the Splintered Hole and Wooden Oni Mask, which together increases the frequency of dropped blood orbs by 47% and causes survivors to drop 2 additional blood orbs for various survivor actions. Finally, we will be taking the survivors to the decimated Borgo, as this map is the closest map that fits the aesthetic of the apocalyptic wasteland we see in the music video. If you like this video so far, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so more people like you can enjoy the video too. Let's go. Alright, so we are on Borgo with the Oni. Now the reason we chose Borgo is because we're basing this off of that music video which shows all of the Eddies kind of riding through this desolate wasteland area, and instead of doing Eerie of Crow twice, we decided to do Borgo because it kind of fits the aesthetic. Looks like we have found a Sable quite early on. Oh, she was camping the pallet. We are going to get a hit. We're going to let her run away. Actually, we might take the down if it's very opportunistic. It's most likely going to be opportunistic. I was initially just gonna hit her and run, but she kind of fell into our loving arms, and it's kind of hard to deny that. I felt like I heard somebody on this gen right here. I'm not quite sure where they may have gone to. But, oh, I see you. Hello. We could have kicked the gen for Nowhere to Hide, but I didn't want to kick it unless I had to. You know, we're only allowed 8 of those things, so we want to make sure we use them. Ooh, alright. We'll see if we can get the down without our power first. Okay, a little bit of the styptic. Very, very impressive there. And in one way, that's a good waste of a med kit against an Oni, so I'll take it. We're gonna swap. We're gonna drop her real quick so we can kick this gen. He's gonna give me this pallet. And now we'll go pick her up and hook her. Oh, we got the down on Felix. Looks like Rebecca took off running. Not quite sure where she might have gone to. Let's use our Nowhere to Hide. We see Sable. Oh, that was a beautiful flick. Let's go, dude. Oh my gosh, looks like the other one gave up. Go ahead and collect our blood. We'll take this Sable here, carry her off to a hook. We're off to a really strong start with Oni. Oh my lord. And like most matches go, when you do really good, the survivors just give up. Looks like the Felix did Kobe whether he wanted to or not. So we're gonna collect some blood and then we'll head back for him. Oh, Felix. We know Rebecca's nearby, but we'll head off towards that explosion. Use our power, run around a little bit, see who we find. Oh! I almost had that one. For those that don't know, I don't play a lot of Oni, but when I do, I try to do my best to do some fun things. Alright, so Rebecca's on a hook. We have Sable somewhere. I wonder if the Sable's over here trying to finish this gen. Sounds like it's still regressing. Take a little sneak-a-peeka. Yep, it's still regressing. And they did go for the save. They're probably going to get a heal off. I don't actually think we're going to have enough blood for our power. I see Rebecca, but let's see if we can find the Sable. Well, doesn't look like we're going to be able to find the Sable, but we can go for Rebecca. We'll go ahead and break this. We'll take a look at this gen. A Sable on it. She's not. So we'll just keep this chase going. I don't really see a reason to pop our power right now. We actually we could have ate that with Hubris, but she's already injured. So it's not like we would have got a lot of value. But the good news is we're getting a lot of blood dropped around. So what we'll do now is we'll run around, see if maybe we find Sable sitting on a gen somewhere. Oh, well, Pleston would. Well, Rebecca, I ran around the map. I gave you a chance to me to try and find the Sable. It didn't quite work out. On the bright side, we have a lot of blood dropped around by this Rebecca. I feel like the Sable's not doing much of anything. She's probably just hiding, waiting till Rebecca's done. Hit her with the window vault. Oh, she held W. She did not want to play at Shaq. I actually didn't know there was a pallet there. Well, Rebecca, it's been a good run. Now we see if Rebecca holds on or if she lets go. We'll kind of see if we can get a bird's eye view. Ah, there you are. If I was Sable, I'm either in a locker or I went into the basement. She was in a locker. That was well played. I'm not quite sure where she ran off to. And now we see who finds Hatch, and it looks like it is me, the Hatch King. She's got pretty decent options for doors. We'll just need to get somewhere where we can see both of them. Sable, you didn't think you were going to get out of this without playing with the Oni, did you? I thought she was going to sit at the pallet. She didn't. I think she's just going to try and hold W and try and run out the timer as much as she can. It's a shame, though. Your friends kind of used all of your assets. Except that one. You don't make that window. And there we have the Oni game on Borgo. All in all, pretty fun match. You can't really help when survivors give up, but I think we had a really strong start, and this was just a really good match as Oni. If you're enjoying this one, I hope you enjoy the next one. Our last variant of Eddie is known as Eddie's Tribute, which is Dead by Daylight's unique culmination of multiple Iron Maiden albums into one monstrous Eddie, making Dredge the perfect choice for this legendary skin. The first album referenced in this model is the X Factor album, where the torso Eddie originates from. Many songs in this album reference religions and the concept of light and darkness, such as the first song of the album, Sign of the Cross, which is about an individual who's wrongly accused of heresy during the Inquisition. The song focuses on the individual's struggle with his beliefs that he's not worthy of divine protection, to the point that he believes his prayers won't even be heard. However, he knows those condemning him will be condemned themselves, even as his soul is laid to rest. The ninth song of the album, The Edge of Darkness, is about a man's journey during the Vietnam War in search of another man who succumbed to the innate savagery that resides in all humans. It symbolizes that there's a dark side to every human mind that can and often will express itself in the right circumstances. The fifth song of the album, Look for the Truth, symbolizes the aspect of facing and overcoming one's fear or dark past. The song is a message of hope for those haunted by memories, and that the only way to overcome them is to face them with a clear mind. The second album referenced in this model is the seventh son of a seventh son, specifically the single, The Evil That Men Do, which is the back piece of the Eddie's Tribute. The meaning of this song is very abstract, but from the lyrics we can speculate that the character is in love with the woman who he seems to have lost and contemplates joining her in the afterlife, as he's haunted by the memory of her love. The final reference we'll be using for the build is the trooper on the right shoulder, which comes from the single The Trooper. The song focuses on a trooper who, despite his efforts in battle, inevitably dies at war. Considering this legendary skin is a tribute to Eddie and Iron Maiden, it's only fitting that our first perk is Iron Maiden. Survivors who exit lockers are exposed for 30 seconds and scream, revealing their location for 4 seconds. Our second perk is Remember Me. Each time our obsession loses a health state, we gain a token up to 4 tokens. Each token increases the exit gate opening time by 6 seconds up to a max of 24 seconds. This perk is a reference to The Evil That Men Do, as the narrator is struggling with the memory of a lost loved one. Our third perk is Darkness Revealed. Whenever we search a locker, the auras of all survivors within 5 meters of any locker are revealed to us for 5 seconds. On top of having good synergy with Iron Maiden and being a great choice for the Dredge, the perk's name perfectly fits with the concepts of darkness explored in the songs of these albums. Our last perk is Blood Echo. When hooking a survivor, all injured survivors suffer from the hemorrhage and exhausted status effects for 45 seconds. Considering the effects of this perk along with its quote, attack an enemy with precision and their allies will feel it, this perk is the perfect reference to the battle and war within the song The Trooper. As for add-ons, our first add-on is the Tilling Blade. When a survivor is injured during nightfall, they are afflicted with blindness, hemorrhage, and mangled for 80 seconds, which is on theme with the dark concepts in these songs as well as the effects of war in the Trooper single. Our second add-on is the Broken Doll, which increases the duration of Nightfall by 20 seconds, a direct representation of the symbology of darkness referenced in these songs. Lastly, we'll be using a Midwitch offering, as the aesthetic and encroaching darkness of this map's lore fits both the Dredge and the symbology of all the songs we've mentioned. If you made it this far, let me know in the comments below what you think of these builds, and with all that being said, let's go. Here we go with Dredge out here on Midwitch. So we chose Midwitch for this build because Midwitch is kind of the darkest map we could think of. The lore with Silent Hill is all about like judgment and pain and things like that, which really fits in with the albums that we're looking at for this particular build. Oh, here they are. Oh, they're working on both gens in this hallway. Looks like they got a decent amount of pressure going on both of them. We'll break that lock. We're going to let her keep going. You know, real quick, we're going to go in and open this door. No darkness revealed value at all. On Midwitch, that's pretty interesting in all reality. I heard somebody lock something, so we were coming downstairs for it. They did finish this gen on this side, which is okay. I'm not too worried about it. I have a feeling Sable's going to turn. No, she's not. She's going to run straight. Looks like Meg's already coming in for the body blocks, trying to protect Sable as much as possible. And that's our first down. Now, we don't have any gen regression at all, so we're going to be relying on our ability to pressure the survivors and keep up the momentum. That was a really good pallet drop. We do have Nightfall that's about to load in, which is very good for us. We're not going to be able to get the hit here. She's going to give us the pallet. Oh my lord. We're going to break this. Get our hook in. Ooh, just barely getting the hit on Feng Min. Oh no, our power just canceled. She does have the window vault here. We've already broken this door though, so that's one thing we don't have to worry about. We'll see if we can get her to drop the pallet. A little bit of the dead hard, a little bit of the E coming into play. That was really well done. Teleport up here, see if they're working on this gen. I can't choose the one I want to go to. They are working on that generator inside. Just like Meg ran right into us. We'll let her stay injured so we can come in here. Nightfall's gonna be starting soon. I assume this Sable's going for the save. She's not. This is a pretty high-paced match right now. Auto aim, even though we were like right there on her. We might be tunneling here, but there's a lot of pressure. We're definitely gonna reduce the amount of pressure that is happening to us right now. Go ahead and break this gen. There's no pressure on that gen. We're about to be running out of our Nightfall here, but hopefully we do get Feng Min. Oh, she got to the pallet. She went downstairs. We do need to teleport back up to that music room, and they're gonna finish it. My god, they've locked every locker. We'll just go ahead and break these locks. Once we hit Meg, it should trigger our Nightfall again. So we should be able to get around the map fairly quickly. Now she's trapped herself in this room. Alright, we're gonna walk in here, check on this generator. We're gonna go ahead and break this lock. Teleport back over here to the music room. Oh wait, music room. Wait, did they finish the music room? I think they did. Music room's on the other side. Whoa. Unlucky for Sable, our mistake teleporting to the wrong place allowed us to intercept that save. And with that, now we have Nightfall active. Oh, barely missed the Fung. I was hoping she wouldn't quite turn around quick enough. Oh, the locker's here next to me, which is really unfortunate. But that one was right where I needed it to be. They're both healing right here. Oh my, the speed of Nightfall is insane with Dredge. Oh, wait, that's too far down. That's too far down. That's not where we wanted to go. That's alright. We're able to catch up because we're Dredge. Not quite able to make the window. I do believe this is going to be the death hook for Fung here. And it looks like it just might be game as well. All in all, Midwich is a perfect map that captures the dark essence of the albums that encompasses all of the Dredge. And the build was a lot of fun. It's very effective on Dredge, and it's very gimmicky to have Iron Maiden in there. But if you guys have enjoyed this video and you want to see more content like this, be sure to like, comment down below what you think of these builds, and be sure to subscribe so you can see more of what's to come in the future. And with that being said, I'll see you very soon out there in the fog.
Yo, hold up. Back in my day, see, I was rapping, King Bush was packing the braids. Now fast forward a couple years and I am packing the weight. Cause you know I got the flow like the ocean in May. And they say, watch the coupe